Aging is inevitable, but that doesn't mean you have to give up the activities you enjoy. This holiday season, talk with your family members about ways everyone can build healthy habits that help support brain health. Visit stayingsharp.org/health.
On a brisk fall day, a single phone call forever changes the lives of a Midwest family's future. With a promising future ahead and effectively leaving the past behind, grandmother Robin Young has vanished. Detectives are on the hunt. What happened to Robin Young? What happens when love becomes fatal? This is the Fatal Attraction Podcast with Chasing a Monster.
November 13th, 2008. It's Thursday morning in Rock Island, Illinois, one of the Quad Cities that bracket the banks of the Mississippi as it flows between Illinois and Iowa.
The Quad Cities are Rock Island and Moline on the Illinois side, and Davenport and Bettendorf across the river in Iowa.
It just seems like one big city. Population-wise, we're probably at about 300,000.
Yet it still retains that small-town Midwest feel.
It's a good place to live, good place to raise a family.
The Quad Cities, to me, is just real quiet.
But the mist has barely burned off the river that quiet morning when Diamond Young gets an unexpected call at 7:15.
I answered the phone.
Hello?
And it was my niece's voice.
Diamond, Grandma's not here.
What do you mean she's in there?
I woke up and she was gone.
The little girl lives with Diamond's mother, 50-year-old Robin Young.
Is Papa there?
Papa is what the little girl calls her grandmother's boyfriend, 59-year-old Chuck Harris.
She was calling me from Chuck's number.
Robin's granddaughter said that Charles had come early to pick her up and take her to school.
He would do that occasionally. He had a very good relationship with the granddaughter.
With Chuck there, Robin's daughter breathes a sigh of relief.
I'm like, maybe she got called into work, and she called Chuck and had Chuck come over.
Robin was a certified nursing assistant, so she sometimes got called in on short notice.
I'll call Grandma at work and see what's going on. Papa can take you to school.
But even after Diamond reassures her niece that everything is okay, there's a nagging worry at the back of her mind.
Robin had some difficulties earlier in life that she was working through. She had a rough past, right, with drugs.
I had saw her relapse quite a few times.
Mama, where are you?
The biggest fear when a loved one relapses is that it could be the last time.
Call me when you get this.
Chicago native Robin Young was known for her loving, outgoing personality.
She was a lot of fun to be around. My mom was real spunky. I used to call her a firecracker.
And she shared an especially close bond with her two children.
I was the second child. I have an older brother.
They had a great relationship. She was a good mom.
The bond between Robin and her children's father wasn't as lasting, though.
They separated when I was 16. Me and my brother watched them try to make it work, but after a while it just became too much for everybody.
In the aftermath, Robin's life imploded. To deal with the pain, she turned to drugs.
She definitely tried to hide it and tried to keep it together as much as she could, but we knew something was going on.
Things got even worse when Robin met a man named Omar Weeks.
There was already some drug history before them, but they just weren't good for each other.
Omar got Robin hooked on crack cocaine.
To watch her go from being such a strong person who could hold her down to, that was hard to watch.
Robin did try to kick the habit.
She went to treatment multiple times. She did.
Usually, she'd go into rehab whenever Omar was in jail.
She would get herself together. And then when he would get out, she would relapse.
It's lighted. When people are in dark places, Sometimes it's kind of hard to get out.
But in 2005, when Omar went to jail for more than 3 years, Robin tried to make a clean break.
I was living in Rock Island, so she came, stayed with me for about 3-4 weeks, and she got her an apartment.
Quiet life in the Quad Cities was the change she needed.
She was doing good. She was in a good place.
She came here and got her life together.
Robin took classes to become a certified nursing assistant.
I remember her being nervous because it had been so long since she had been to school.
She got her certification and a job at a local nursing home.
She took a lot of pride in her job. She took very good care of the patients.
She just generally is a nurturer.
That same nurturing spirit showed in Robin's loving relationship with her granddaughter.
I think it speaks volumes that she took her granddaughter in and allowed the granddaughter to live with her.
I believe that my mom felt like she could right some wrongs with me, with my niece.
She was making the most out of her second chance.
Robin also opened herself up to love again with a man named Chuck Harris.
He was a really nice guy, nice looking guy, clean cut, very friendly.
Like Robin, Chuck was a Chicago native who'd come to the Quad Cities looking to start over.
He had a long history of drug abuse.
They met in Narcotics Anonymous.
They had some of the same struggles.
And like Robin, he'd turned his life around.
Charles worked at a treatment and rehabilitation facility in Davenport.
He was down to earth. He was quiet. It seemed like he was a humble guy.
They were good with each other. They were real cute together.
Chuck also helped Robin take care of her granddaughter.
She called Charles her papa. It was always them three together.
It seemed like everything was going great. He was happy and she looked very happy.
So when her niece calls early on the morning of November 13th,
Grandma's not here.
Robin's daughter Diamond isn't initially alarmed.
Papa can take you to school. I'll find out where Grandma is.
Okay.
Gets off the phone with Diamond. Charles takes her to school.
Diamond figured that her mom had just gotten called into work early and slipped out before her granddaughter woke up.
When I got off the phone with her, I kind of laid back down because, again, it was early in the morning.
But Diamond quickly gets up again, now racked with worry.
What she said registered to me like my mom wasn't there all night.
Robin just would not leave that child alone overnight.
Mom!
Stay tuned for more of this gripping episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
Aging is inevitable, but that doesn't mean you have to give up the activities you enjoy. This holiday season, talk with your family members about ways everyone can build healthy habits that help support brain health. Visit stayingsharp.org/health.
After years of struggling with addiction, 50-year-old Robin Young had finally turned her life around.
She started over, just feet hitting the pavement. She just took off.
She was taking care of her granddaughter, her son's daughter.
I'm drawing a huge rainbow flower.
She had a good job.
And she'd found love with a new boyfriend, Charles Harris.
It seemed like they was in a good place.
But now Robin has disappeared.
Robin's granddaughter woke up and saw that her grandmother wasn't home, which was very unusual.
While Robin's boyfriend Chuck takes the 10-year-old to school, Diamond desperately tries to reach her mother.
There's no way that Robin would just take off and leave her granddaughter.
Mama, where are you? Call me when you get this.
Her phone just kept going to voicemail. And so I called her job. They said she wasn't there.
Diamond was very concerned.
I done contacted everybody that I know that would even know anything about my mom.
Even more odd, when she tries to follow up with Chuck, she can't get a hold of him either.
Called him like 3 times and he never answered.
Unable to reach Chuck, Diamond goes to her mother's apartment.
Mom!
I went over and like kind of looked around to see if like was her purse gone or her little wallet.
The wallet is there, but Diamond notices that some things are missing.
Her debit card wasn't in it.
Robin's cell phone was also nowhere to be found inside the apartment.
Is it possible Robin had run off without telling anyone?
Robin had a history of drug addiction, so a relapse wasn't out of the question.
However, Diamond can't shake the feeling that this isn't drug-related.
To just disappear, she would never do that.
Diamond couldn't help but think that her mom may be in real trouble.
After searching her mom's apartment, Diamond picks up her niece from school.
I took her back to my mom's house, and I was asking her, well, what was she doing yesterday?
The little girl says her grandmother had been at work when she got out of school on Wednesday.
Charles picked her up from school, brought her home, and left because he said he wanted to get some rest before he had to go into work that night. About 8:30, Robin comes home.
I'm sure it's in school. I'm looking at it right now. It's not here.
My niece said when she came in, she was arguing with somebody on the phone.
But not long after arriving home, according to her granddaughter, Robin had abruptly left.
You go ahead and go to bed now, sweetie. I'll be back in a little while, okay? Okay. What now?
She said as my mom was leaving, she got to arguing on the phone again.
But who was the person on the other end of the phone?
If Robin had relapsed and started taking drugs again, maybe she had gotten into some kind of trouble.
I just had no idea who we were dealing with.
After arranging a sitter for her niece, Diamond drops by Chuck's apartment across the river in Davenport, Iowa.
I still have not heard from him. Nobody's answering his door, so I'm knocking on the neighbor's door. And the woman that lived across from him was just like, have you heard anything?
Chuck told me Robin's missing. Where? This morning?
According to Chuck's neighbor, after taking Robin's granddaughter to school, he came home, but left again quickly.
Chuck told his neighbor that he was going to go looking for Robin. Then the neighbor told Diamond there had been no sign of him since.
I thought maybe something happened to them both. Like, he must have went and tried to get my mom, and something happened to them.
Diamond goes to the police and reports her mother missing.
They issued a be on the lookout for Robin, Chuck, and both of their cars and passed that information along to the local news media.
They also contact the police in Davenport.
Once Davenport police learned the situation, they headed over to Chuck's apartment to do a welfare check.
The search reveals no clues about Robin or Chuck's disappearance.
There was also no obvious indication of a struggle inside Charles' house.
There's no indication that Chuck has been back since that morning either.
With the information that both Robin and Charles were missing, we felt pretty strongly that something serious had happened.
When detectives go to search Robin's apartment, they find the first real indication that she might be involved in something dangerous.
The police found several 9mm cartridges hidden inside Robin's apartment.
We didn't find any firearms in the residence.
Maybe she'd taken the gun with her for protection.
Check this out.
But where could she have gone? Detectives believe they may be able to find out.
Look, no ATM card.
Her debit card was missing.
we contacted her bank and subpoenaed the information for her bank account.
It's a very good tool to track the movements of an individual.
Thank you.
When detectives get the information from the bank, it shows that Robin, or whoever has her card, is on the move.
The card is being used traveling across Illinois.
There was money being withdrawn on the south side of Chicago.
Was it possible Robin had relapsed and fallen back into her old life?
She loves Chicago. That's where she grew up.
It's also where Robin's old boyfriend, Omar Weeks, lived.
Maybe he had gotten out of jail and lured her back into her old life.
Or was the trail to Chicago a dead end? While waiting on more information from Robin's bank, a man calls the Davenport police with another lead.
He tells us that he was walking and he passed by the vehicle that he saw in a news story.
Our patrol officers respond. They look inside the vehicle and they see a female slumped over in the back seat.
The vehicle was opened to see if she needed medical assistance.
As soon as they opened the door, officers realized they were too late.
Stay tuned for more of this gripping episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
Aging is inevitable, but that doesn't mean you have to give up the activities you enjoy. This holiday season, talk with your family members about ways everyone can build healthy habits that help support brain health. Visit stayingsharp.org/health.
5 days after Robin Young disappeared, detectives in Davenport, Iowa believe they found the 50-year-old nursing assistant's body.
An unnamed person watched the news earlier that night, sees the vehicle, and calls 911 to report the vehicle.
In the back seat of the car, laying face down behind the front passenger seat, was a body.
Detectives are fairly confident that the dead woman is Robin.
The body was in her vehicle, the clothing matched.
But despite the demons in her past, detectives quickly realized Robin's death was no overdose.
They see a small puddle of blood underneath her head.
She'd been struck in the head several times.
But detectives doubt that she had been killed in the car.
We observed she had a little bit of dust on her back.
Whoever put her there dragged her body for a while and then placed her in the vehicle.
Hoping to locate a witness, detectives fan out and start knocking on doors.
It's an older, established neighborhood, so people noticed that this car was sitting there.
Detectives are still talking to neighbors when Robin's daughter Diamond gets word that her mother may have been found.
My friend called me and said that she just read a story online that said they found the woman's body in the car. And so I called 911. And the woman said, "Miss Young, I'm so sorry nobody has come to tell you yet." And I lost it. Like everything in me just came out. I couldn't believe she was gone.
Once her daughter makes a positive identification, the medical examiner conducts an autopsy and confirms that Robin's death was a homicide.
Robin died of blunt force injuries to the head.
She had some defensive wounds on her hands and arms.
In addition, the toxicology results find no evidence that Robin was on drugs when she died.
The only thing she had in her system was caffeine.
Despite fears that she'd relapsed, Robin had remained committed to her recovery.
But now that it's clear Robin has been murdered, one question remains.
Who would want to do her like this?
There was no sign at the crime scene of Chuck Harris. Robin's boyfriend, who also disappeared shortly after she did.
Nobody knows where Chuck is.
Robin's daughter worried that Chuck may have gone looking for her mother and met the same horrible fate.
Detectives get a warrant and return to the apartment where Robin's boyfriend lives to conduct a second, more thorough search.
During that first search, they were looking strictly for the person, and that's it.
In a search warrant, you're looking for evidence of a crime, and that could be anything, from the smallest item to looking for an actual murder weapon.
This time, detectives do find a small amount of blood.
We located some blood on the bathroom floor. The blood was collected and sent to the state lab.
But is the blood Robin's or Chuck's?
As much as Chuck cared about my mom, he would be trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm even thinking like maybe they got him too.
One thing is certain though. After running Robin's ex-boyfriend Omar Weeks' name through the database, detectives know he isn't her killer.
Diamond had mentioned Omar and his trouble with the law when she reported her mother and Chuck missing.
It turned out Omar was actually still in prison at the time of Robin's murder.
With Omar ruled out and still no sign of Chuck, detectives reach out to his co-workers at the rehab center.
Detectives wanted to find out if anyone at work had seen or heard from him since he and Robin disappeared.
Chuck's manager tells detectives they've been worried because he hasn't been in over the last several days.
He built a good rapport with the clients, and he had a good rapport with all the staff members there.
According to one coworker, Chuck had an especially good rapport with one staff member, a young woman named Katrina Lawrence.
We were told that they had a father-daughter relationship, that she looked up towards him and he kind of looked after her.
Although she also says she sensed that there may have been more to the relationship.
Man, it just doesn't look right to me.
What do you mean?
She thought Chuck and Katrina were having an affair.
Where she'd be hanging on them and flirting.
Detectives investigating the murder of Robin Young have learned that her missing boyfriend, Chuck Harris, may have been seeing another woman on the side.
He was very close with a woman he worked with at the rehab center.
It just doesn't look right to me.
One of their co-workers even suspected that he and the woman had a sexual relationship.
But when detectives bring 23-year-old Katrina Lawrence in for questioning, she denies there's any sort of romantic relationship.
Seems like you were pretty close.
Who told you that? We're just friends. That's all.
So where were you last Wednesday night?
I was at work.
Katrina tells detectives she works third shift at the rehab center.
It's a place where people with drug and alcohol problems go, and they need around-the-clock employees there.
However, an alibi isn't all that Katrina offers them.
Chuck was supposed to work too, but he never showed.
He called into work and said he was sick.
And when we found out that he had called in sick that night, it immediately raised some red flags to us.
On the evening Robin disappeared, Chuck had told her granddaughter that he was going into work.
So when's the last time you heard from Chuck?
The next morning, I saw him at the school.
Her children go to the same school that Robin's granddaughter goes to. So as she's taking her children to school, she sees Charles dropping off Robin's granddaughter.
He say anything to you?
Not much. He was still sick.
He tells her that he's going to go back home and go to bed.
But detectives wonder if he'd really been sick at all.
Arguably something had happened that changed his plans.
Hoping to learn more, detectives pull Chuck's phone records, which reveal that Katrina and Chuck had a long phone conversation on Thursday morning.
The phone call was right around 15 minutes.
Katrina hadn't said anything to detectives about the phone call when they interviewed her.
However, Chuck's phone records also reveal that Chuck made 2 separate phone calls to Robin on Wednesday night. one at around 8:30 and another about an hour later.
Those calls coincided with Robin's granddaughter hearing her argue with someone over the phone.
Chuck's phone records don't offer detectives any clues as to his whereabouts, however.
There hadn't been any activity on Chuck's phone since Thursday, the day after Robin disappeared.
However, the phone records do reveal that Robin and Katrina weren't the only people he'd been in contact with before going silent. He'd also called a woman named Marilyn Black.
Charles had talked to Marilyn on the 13th in the early morning.
Detectives believe that Robin's murder happened sometime late on Wednesday, the 12th.
Telephone records linked Marilyn with Charles after Robin's death. So we brought her down to the police department.
Well, what exactly is your relationship with Charles? I guess you can say we hung out.
When we sat down with Marilyn, she was very evasive.
But when detectives press, Marilyn eventually admits that her relationship with Chuck was physical.
Marilyn knew that Charles was with Robin as well. She considered herself kind of a side girlfriend of his.
He would call her and they would get together and meet.
She says she hasn't talked to Chuck in a couple of weeks.
She denies any phone calls between the two of them on the 12th and the 13th. Detective Noonan shows her, hey, we have the phone records. We know how many times he called you.
Okay, he called me. So what? What did you talk about? I don't remember exactly.
You could tell that she was trying to protect Charles in some way.
The detectives keep pushing.
She lied and denied it for quite some time. And then finally, what we were able to get from her was that he came over to her residence about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on the 13th. He gave her $20, said, this will be the last time you see me.
Did he say why?
She admitted he told her that he and Robin had been arguing, and he told her that something went very wrong.
He wouldn't tell me what it was about.
But she does say that something Chuck had told her in the past made her fear the worst.
He would tell her that when he got mad, he would turn into Chucky.
Chucky? You know the dolls in the movies, the ones that come alive?
The one that kills people?
Yeah.
He portrays himself to the outside world as a very quiet, respectful person, but we really start realizing how violent and dangerous he really is.
But it's not until they pull Chuck's criminal records that detectives learn the staggering truth.
Charles Harris had a very violent criminal history.
His problems extended beyond drugs. He had killed before.
Stay tuned for more of this gripping episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
Aging is inevitable, but that doesn't mean you have to give up the activities you enjoy. This holiday season, talk with your family members about ways everyone can build healthy habits that help support brain health. Visit stayingsharp.org/health.
Detectives in Davenport, Iowa have just discovered that Charles Harris, the boyfriend of murder victim Robin Young, has a long criminal record.
In 1986, Chicago police had charged Chuck with killing his girlfriend.
She tried to end the relationship, and Charles kept stalking her. And then one night, Charles climbed in a window, and he stabbed her to death.
Charles was convicted of voluntary manslaughter and served a little over 3 years before being released on parole.
4 years later, he was arrested again.
He had another very violent domestic assault in the Illinois part of the Quad Cities.
1994, He's married. His wife wants a divorce. She gets a protective order. He continually violates the protective order. And then one night, he comes in and he severely beats her.
She spent some time in the hospital. It was bad enough that I think if somebody hadn't got her, she probably would have died.
He's charged with attempted murder. He's convicted. He gets a 16-year sentence on that charge.
Released after 10 years, Chuck was soon in trouble again.
In 2005, he is dating another woman. That relationship goes badly. He breaks her arm.
He had a very, very violent history, particularly when it came to women. With every relationship that he had, where the girlfriend wants to break it off, and as soon as that happens, Charles reacts violently.
But while detectives believe Robin may be the latest victim of Chuck's violence, they don't have a clear picture of what unfolded until a woman named Charlene Tate comes forward.
Charlene's a mutual friend of Robin and Charles.
You said you have some information for us. What kind of information?
It's just some things that Robin had said to me. She was worried about Chuck.
Robin told Charlene that Charles was becoming very possessive, very jealous. He kept asking her questions about money, wanting to know how much money she had.
My mom was constantly getting raises at work. She was such a good worker. So at one point she was making more money than him.
According to Charlene, Robin was also afraid Chuck had started using drugs again.
I'm not sure if he relapsed. I do remember her saying that he was displaying some behaviors that she hadn't seen from him before.
She was starting to see what Charles was and what he was about, and she realized, hey, I'm a stronger woman now. I don't need this guy.
She'd worked so hard. The last thing she needed was Chuck dragging her down.
Robin told Charlene that she was going to end the relationship.
Did she tell you what she was planning to do?
She mentioned something about a restraining order.
Any woman that talks about getting a restraining order isn't just because of verbal argument, it's because of something physical.
Charles Harris is a person whose way of solving problems is through violence, certainly when it comes for women.
It's not enough for an arrest warrant, but detectives do obtain a warrant to detain Charles Harris as a material witness.
A material witness warrant is a warrant for the apprehension of somebody who cannot be served with a subpoena. With Charles Harris, he was one of the last people to see Robin alive, so we can compel him to come in and we can ask questions.
But first, detectives will need to find him, and they have a pretty good idea where to look.
It was known Charles Harris was from Chicago, and Robin Young's bank card was being used in that area.
The days following her disappearance, the bank card was used 12 times.
I called a couple of the convenience stores that the card was being used at to pull that surveillance tape.
And the video leaves no doubt about who has Robin's debit card.
That video showed a person using her ATM cards in Chicago.
You could clearly see that it was Charles Harris.
Stay tuned for more of this gripping episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
Detectives investigating Robin Young's murder have uncovered evidence that her boyfriend, Chuck Harris, is likely the one who killed the 50-year-old nursing assistant.
He had my mom's debit card and he was using her debit card.
Detectives had surveillance video from a Chicago convenience store that showed Chuck using the card.
He walks into the gas station, goes right to the ATM, take money out of her account.
In the weeks following Robin's murder, Chuck had used the card at several locations on the south side of Chicago.
So that bank card assisted us in not only proving that he was using the card through surveillance videos, but also helping us track down where he was at.
3 weeks after the murder, Chicago police track him down.
They locate him on December the 2nd, driving in the city of Chicago.
Vehicle takes off, leads him on a pursuit.
Eventually, more units arrive and manage to cut him off.
He abandons the car and leads him on a foot chase.
Charles takes off running.
That's when his luck truly ran out.
A U.S. Marshal that's leaving his residence to go to work turns and looks and sees Charles Harris running from the police.
After a quick tackle by the off-duty marshal, police take Chuck into custody.
He was in the Chicago Police Department's lockup, so we went down there.
He owes some people an explanation. Yeah. Especially one little 10-year-old girl.
Faced with the reality of what he'd done to Robin and her granddaughter, Chuck agrees to talk.
He looked completely defeated.
His explanation was that Robin had told him their relationship was over the afternoon on the 12th. She told him to get out and that he went home.
But according to Chuck, Robin had showed up at his apartment later that night.
Apparently, that's where Robin went after she sent her granddaughter to bed.
He said as soon as she came over, they started to argue.
We were arguing about money. That's all we were arguing about.
According to Chuck, the argument that night had turned violent.
What happened?
She hit me with something.
Charles claimed that Robin hit him over the head with a pipe.
What happened after she hit you?
I hit her back.
It's a very similar story to Chuck's previous attack on his ex-wife.
These two situations are almost exactly the same. There's an argument that goes too far, hits her and blames it on the woman.
But no matter how much he spins the story, detectives consider it a confession.
They charged him with first-degree murder.
I believe he couldn't handle the fact that Robin was breaking up with him.
It's not even.
So he decided to lure Robin to his apartment.
I think what happened was when she tells him we're done, Charles takes her debit card.
That was his way of setting the trap.
She demands it back. He says, I'm going to give it to you, but you got to come over here and get it.
Okay, I'm coming.
She hangs up the phone and tells her granddaughter, I'll be right back.
Bye. I love you.
But she'd never come back from Chuck's apartment.
He hit her over the head 2 or 3 times.
He then put Robin's body in the back of her car, drove away from his place, and left her there.
Why he picks that location, I don't know. How he gets back to his apartment, he could have walked.
The next morning, he'd stopped off at Robin's apartment as if nothing had happened.
It seemed that by pretending he'd just gotten off work and taken Robin's granddaughter to school like usual, Chuck was trying to set up an alibi.
Then he'd left town.
He fled to Chicago where he can blend in and feel safe.
Now, though, he's back in Iowa and facing a murder charge.
We were ready to go to trial. It was a very good case.
But a jury will never hear it. On June 2nd, 2009, the day Chuck's trial is supposed to begin, the the defense and prosecution agree to a plea deal.
The prosecuting attorney has to look at what is best for the case and what's best for the family and what's best for public safety.
You have to consider a plea as a guarantee.
Under the terms of the plea, Charles Harris is sentenced to 45 years in prison.
He'll be 84 years old by the time he's eligible for parole.
That's about as close to a life sentence that you can get.
It isn't enough for Robin's daughter.
She's never coming back, so even with them catching, he's been to prison so many times, I don't even feel like that's punishment for him.
But there is some solace that at least he will never get another chance at life, which is exactly what he took from Robin.
So sad that somebody who had a rough life finally got it back together, and then this happens.
She was working, doing everything right, and fell in with the wrong guy.
But even a ruthless killer can't diminish all that she overcame.
Her story always makes me just feel like even when I feel like giving up, don't, because she never did. I don't know anybody that was more proud of her than I was. My mom was a great person.
It's unfortunate that we are constantly surrounded by deceitful individuals who lie in wait each day. Every day, we face shocking accounts of their dishonesty and pure ruthlessness. Robin Young, a mother, a grandmother, and a fighter who never gave up, will forever be cherished in the hearts of her family and friends. Coming up on the next episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
They were a loving couple living the American dream.
They came to America seeking stability, seeking success.
They really had to hustle and work hard.
They make a better life for themselves.
Until a horrible crime destroyed everything they held dear.
Get out of my house.
She can hear her husband. He's screaming.
This is a
quaint town in Georgia is thrown into turmoil when a couple on the brink of greatness experiences a horrific attack. Who would want to hurt them? Their loved ones are determined to find out what happened. Tune in to the next episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast. We will see you in the next episode.
Aging is inevitable, but that doesn't mean you have to give up the activities you enjoy. This holiday season, talk with your family members about ways everyone can build healthy habits that help support brain health. Visit stayingsharp.org/health.